was at a pub in Burleigh Heads, and the guy turned around and just give me 2 poems, and he said, "You're not at the Dead Society then?" I said, "No mate, I'm a living poet." And I spun around, that's it. It's Michael the Living Poet, and the name stuck ever since. And what a lovely name. I think I'm growing into the character. I changed my world with a single thought. By changing my mind, I don't want it all. Finally I found the treasure I sought. Now my life won't come to naught.
How long have you had this truck?
Oh, about a year and a half.
How's it going?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I'm really pleased. Didn't cost a lot.
What?
$800.
Where's it at?
Yeah, I'm wrapped.
It runs pretty sweetly.
Yeah, I've had it up and down the coast.
Yeah.
Back to Queensland and South Australia.
Sure. Yeah. Where are you mainly based?
In the van. I live in the van.
You don't live in this thing?
Yeah, this is my house. Yeah.
Oh God! I thought you were up in Queensland.
Oh, I was there.
Oh,
in
yeah.
my house.
Nice day for it, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Every day's a good day for it.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning, the sun's shining, what more could you ask for?
What do you do for a living though, apart from your poetry?
That's it, I'm a wandering swaggy poet.
You're a wandering minstrel eye, a thing of, what is it, shreds and tatters. That's what you are. Hey, so you're actually based in, you live, you cook, you sleep and everything in the van?
Everything, yeah.
Gee, that's good.
I gave up the building job.
Yeah.
Just wandering for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, I love it.
Where are you heading for today?
Oh, what's that down there? My ponga, I think.
Oh yeah?
I can't have a bus down the bakery.
Well, what do you, is it a decent little town?
Oh, it's just a little place on the way down to Jarvis Bay.
Oh, I'm hungry.
Yeah,
We
cool.
drop in and have something to eat.
Great pasties.
Are they?
I think so.
I love them.
Well, I grew up in New Guinea as a kid. Then we came back to Australia in the late 60s. And grew up in Busker in New South Wales. Finally became a carpenter. Got married and had a couple of kids. Started writing poetry. And the craziest part is I've started performing it. Yeah. It's a wonderful journey, so I don't know what today brings. I go down to the next little town and have a basket, make a few dollars and go on to the next town. Bit of sharing and caring and maybe meet some lovely people down there. Looking forward to it. I look forward to every new town.
What about your family? What brothers and sisters, and how do you go to home back in the old days?
Oh, only one brother. He was adopted Aboriginal. He was adopted when he was 2. We grew up all our lives together. Have a great empathy for other cultures and beliefs. Having an Aboriginal brother. And respect for other people's cultures and beliefs as well. Yeah, it's been a great learning experience having a brother like that. Poems are things I love to write. Some of them mellow and some of them bite. Many got words that struck together, while others have meanings that'll last forever. Dad was an engineer. He'd come over from England as a 16-year-old after the Second World War. Mum had grown up in Victoria. Their family were all timber cutters and hard-working folks. They had several miscarriages, and I was lucky enough to be born a little 3-month premature, 4 pound, and little miracle kid they used to call me. I think they did it hard as kids, like depression and, you know, things hard after the war and rationing and so on. And Mum did the same. They had rationing in this country, and I think they both did it hard. And they knew how to appreciate things and were fairly conservative. He was like Church of England, and she was a salvo.
And who would you say would have been most proud of you as a poet? Dad or Mum?
Oh, both, I think.
Would they? Yeah, good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I think both. Poetry was the last thing on anyone's mind for me.
Did you ever hear poetry spoken?
The odd stuff, Banjo Patterson, Henry Lawson, and the movement at the station, the word had passed around. I thought, oh, Man from Snowy River, that's our history, that's our great pioneers, and yeah, it was very inspiring. And in those days, we still had ads on the TV, like, and a man was on his horse riding out in an Australian outback, rolling a cigarette out of his pouch. And going back on things, when I really think about it, where it came from, I think Dad was a great storyteller. He made funny noises, and he put lots of emphasis in his stories, and he really performed it out. Yeah, in his quiet moments on his own, he was really quite good like that. It was lots of fun. Oh, a picture's never perfect. Colours fade in light, but your picture's always perfect when I close my eyes at night. Oh, I drag along a broken stick, trails behind me in my hand, and when I draw your picture, oh, it's perfect in the sand. I lay upon a golden beach, gazing in a hazy sky, and there's your perfect picture in that white car passing by. Yes, the picture's never perfect. Colours fade in light, but your picture's always perfect when I close my eyes at night. Oh, you can take your picture from me. You can't take it when you leave, 'cause your picture stays within me. Yes, your memories left their weave. Our picture's never perfect. Colours fade in light, but your picture's always perfect when I close my eyes each night. We all get down a bit now and then. I suppose some call it depression, but well, Winston called it the black dog. I'm a bit like Kookaburra. I try and see the funny side of things. Oh, Kookaburra, cackle for me. I'll find me loud as I sit in your tray. Change my mood if you love me. My smile's so much brighter, I know it'll be. See that black dog sneaking in me. Can you see that black dog sneaking in me? Way up high, you see that red funny thing. Can't help smiling when I hear him sing. Come on, black dog, depression, get away from me. Come on, black dog, depression, get away from me. I went tyre fitting, worked on a shark boat in Bass Strait, a little fishing boat, and went wandering. Then I finally joined the army at 18. I really liked it. The comradeship, the discipline, the bushcraft, those things I really loved. Yeah, I can put my head down and bum up and stay motivated on something now. I think some of the bastardry in the green machine is not real good.
Did you suffer?
I think everyone does to a
Do
degree.
they? Yeah.
That's how you learn a bit of discipline, a bit of tough love, mate. A bit of tough love, mate. Doesn't hurt anyone. Well, I don't think we'll ever have peace while someone makes money from war. But I think you should have a defence force of some sort. I went off wandering and become a carpenter, finished off my carpenter apprenticeship and got into building and thoroughly enjoyed that. Went back to Papua New Guinea, where I'd been as a kid. Worked there on the Waigani sewer lagoons. I've worked in big rocky downs at the mines, underground, on top, all over. Mum was a salvo. She, when she died, all the family went through her stuff like vultures. And there was a King James on the table, an old Bible. And I took that. It was precious to her. And depressed one day, I had a look, and it said, "Love one another as you love yourself. Do unto others as you have them do to you." So I try to reflect that in my poetry each day. Well, after the army, I met a lady, and we had children pretty early. Had one girl, and 4 years later we had twin girls. I'd already established myself in the building industry by then. Basically, the kids and the wife followed me through my career, all over Australia and the South Pacific. With an Aboriginal brother and so on, we worked all through Aboriginal communities, through the top end of Western Australia, and we eventually came back with Mum getting sick in Victoria, and she died of a heart attack. And it wasn't long after that the wife and kids left. All my little world crumbled.
Did you drink?
No, not really.
Were you violent?
I just be aggro over anything. I didn't have to drink. I just was angry. I'd get angry easy.
What about your wife?
Well, we haven't spoken for many years now. We're close on 10 years. Although I have contact with all the kids and we have a wonderful relationship. But the ex and I don't speak. She's now a prison warder in a men's jail, which she seems to have gone down a hard road. Poetry's, for me, on the other hand, has been a wonderful healer, and the last couple of years it seems to have softened me a bit. So, wheels turn in opposite directions. It's a funny thing, life. Writing poetry tonight. Steve Irwin died. And I'm doing this again now. Been busking for 2 years, and I'm back doing a bit of concrete to paste me CD. I changed my world with a single thought. Anyway, the night he died, I wrote my very first poem called Crikey. And it goes, "Crikey, family, I thought with a frown. Their dad's gone to heaven to get his new crown. Taken so suddenly, loving just what he did. Playing with tigers in jungles and swimming with squid. Down to earth and genuine, real Aussie bloke. Loved Billy T and Sam, a yarn and a joke. But what was loved most of all, that old mate Steve, was his great ability to roll up his sleeve. To show us all wonders and things we all need. Pristine nature, not about greed. Showed his spark on film and his passion with snakes. While he wrestled great crocs that we knew weren't fakes. Everything the man done had a spirit of passion. Never shared his love like some little ration. Never kept her in, but he shared it around. So wildlife's free and our knowledge could abound. What an awesome job he's done. It'll last forever. As long I reckon as our never never. And when you arrived up there, I think they said we're waiting for you. Because you need it up here to run the animals. Where else did he go? There's a zoo up there, I'm sure he went there. And he showed me to live life to the full, not sit in a paddock like a tired old bull. Well, there's all my poetry, all in files, numbers, subjects, kids stuff, Australiana, Christian, whatever. It's all in there. Different categories, 1500. As things are with the thing I thought, by changing our minds we can do who we are. And then we live in a world of song. And now and wrong coming up, where the singer thought. With a single thought, we can change the world. Awards in the last 3 years, wow. Second in the Power's Brawl at Woodford 2 years in a row. Runner-up Caboolture Busking Championships in the Country Urban. The Kakadu Australiana Award at Tamworth in 08. Melbourne's Best Busker 2008 at the Royal Show. And I performed at the Woodford Folk Festival just recently doing a buskers workshop, and it's been an amazing 3 years. Well, my daughter and I get on fine now. So it was about 6 years I didn't have real contact after the wife and the other 3 daughters left. And but I'm actually staying in the driveway in the van now. The odd time I come to Adelaide. I stay away from them who steal. I sit alone and eat my meal. Because who needs the money, the minerals and coal? For some of them things, some you sell your soul. But I like in your hearts a seed to sow. And show you the things you just might need to know. My poems of life, my stories of pain, that showed me my wrong and brought me gain. Because there comes a time when one should think, long before you're over the brink. Yeah, there comes a time when one should think, long before you're over the brink. I came down from Woodford Folk Festival the other day and I arrived here at Adelaide at the Fringe. Had my one-man buggy and my solid busking thing all ready to launch. And I just got a bit overwhelmed with it all. I got there and got everything out and unpacked it all. And there's 2 big stages going. It was just a bit overwhelming and I just packed up and went home. So not every day's great, it's a hard life. You have your ups and downs. You've got to be in the moment to perform, otherwise Just doesn't come out right, so that's went under bed. I chanced upon a poet's trophy they called the Blacken Billy. It didn't sound to me too prize, but rather it sounded silly. Would a poet sit and write and give it all he's got to finally be presented with some rusty, sooty pot? I yawned as the boredom overtook me, and I finally hit the hay. And then, just like usual, came those vivid visions when I lay. It felt like I was in a boat down some dark Sydney alley. And then the daylight dawned in fog. It was Endeavour's galley. I exclaimed when I looked upon the stove, well, I never. That bloody Blacken Billy, she'd been around forever. We settled down in Botany Bay with Blacken Billy in the coals, and we all went out hunting for our giant newfound moles. Wombats, that is, folks. That Blacken Billy stood on watch along our telegraph route, and many a man who'd come along kicked the embers with his boot. And out back in Aboriginal camps, I glimpsed billies in the fires, and the ones who said they weren't like us had all been bloody liars, for it was as plain as your nose for the world to see how quickly they'd acquired a taste for Blacken Billy tea. Then Billy moved from bark huts to houses and kitchens out the back, and swagmen travelled dusty roads with Blacken Billies in their sack. And as time moved on, we enjoyed our picnics by the sea, and in amongst our checkered hamper was that Blacken Billy tea. And when the girls got dressed up for their Friday nights in town, old Blacken Billy sometimes left a mark upon an unsuspecting gown. Then sadly Blacken Billy got taken off to war, and somehow things just weren't the same on returning to our shore. There was no honour for Billy, as he was placed back in the sack, whilst those that lived in houses got a cupboard down the back. But Blacken Billy showed no despair. He didn't show no fear, for he knew he would come camping down the river every year. It seemed like Blacken Billy had been around through all our country's ages, with stories to tell, to fill scroll like endless pages. And finally, when I woke up in the dawn, it didn't sound that silly to cherish on my man's that time's Blacken Billy. Earth and genuine, a real Aussie bloke. Loved Billy T and camping, a yarn and a joke. And when he arrived up there, I think they said, we're waiting for you, because you need it up here to run our heavenly scene.
Well done. That's beautiful.
That's where we went, isn't it, surely?
Beautiful.
Hey, listen, have a lovely day, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Okay, you have a good one.
Look at this. I was going to come and have a busk here, but I can't even busk. It's put a damper on the whole day. Never mind.
Hello there, how are you? Do you like our sauce collection? We've got American mustard, tomato sauce and barbecue sauce.
Cold drink, pure blonde.
Very good.
Okay. Please have a sausage. Sure. Would you like onion with that sausage? Okay.
Learning to share and give each other their heart. But I'm sure he's stored away our memories, so she'll never come. I'm such a tragic loss. We all should learn to cherish each precious breath, our life here to spurn, learning to appreciate the moon's romantic glow above, and how to look after someone's precious gift of love. Be accepted in our sickness or our good health, to be happy in our poverty or humble in our wealth. And thank you, Phil, for the things I've learned from you. To cherish the woman of my life, be her Sarah, Sally or Sue. Thanks for reminding me of qualities I should give as I step out each precious morning, another day.
Get some tears in a minute.
Enjoy your day, mate.
Well done.
What else do you say?
Oh, solo mio, if I I'll probably marry Lucy after all. I'll probably marry Lucy after all. Damn. Why my daughter knows she's answered the calls. I watched her push Lucy out the door. Probably a million times or more. I'll probably marry Lucy after all. I'll probably marry Lucy after all. Damn.
You hate and reprimanding, horses neighing for their pastures green, Christians looking for their things unseen, couples saving to buy an house, single searching personals for a spouse. But me, I found what I look for. No longer is me life a chore. I never had a bad blood clot, nor do I say I care what not.
I'll sing a song, you will sing one too. It's got to be a happy song, we're all a little mad. We'll tell you if the first starts to make us feel sad.
G'day. You know what this is? This is a Woodford tree hugger badge. And you have to go for the last weekend of the month for 6 months to earn a badge. So it's a long time to get it. And I'm an official tree hugger. Toby! Toby the tree frog! The kookaburras are crying, and I could see their pain. And instantly the heavens just stopped all their rain. We all jumped and turned when we heard this great big splash. And there in front of us was this greeny browny flash that landed in the grass. And we all ran to see what was this that frightened us. What could it really be? Mrs. Kookaburra heard a cough, and she knew it was a little Kenny. And then she heard another cough and knew it was his sister Jenny. They were laughing and squawking, but they really hadn't seen whereabouts my little friend, Toby Tree Frog, had been. Toby found the babies way down in the caves. He'd strapped them to his back and swum up through the waves. He'd jumped so high, way up in the sky. And that's when everyone had wondered what on earth had passed them by. Now Toby's a hero. He's a legend of the pond. And that's how I know that tree frogs and kookaburras have a bond. Don't you? Yeah, great little friend. You want to go in your pocket? Come on, here you go. I'll see you later.
I spent thousands of dollars on a Tibetan herbal root to keep me around longer that I might spend my loot. That thing gave me indigestion and made me feel quite strange. Well, what's that all the bright light at the end of that lane?
When I hear Louis singing his song, that's when I know his world's gone wrong. And I think to myself, we've wrecked his beautiful world. And I think to myself, let's clean up his beautiful world. You can't expect much crowds here, eh? But it was a good run.
No,
Good practice run.
We met some nice people actually. Had a lovely conversation. That's half of it.
The Vietnam vet had a yarn at me, took money in my pocket over there.
Yeah.
That old Macedonian couple.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we're out in the sunshine.
Good practice run.
What do? You're out in the sunshine all day long. Nobody on our back. We haven't got the boss on our back. And we're going to camp by the side of the road.
And $10 gets you 100 k's, isn't it? Well, it's $1.20 a litre. It's about 80 k's now.
So $20 to get to the next town. Not even that.
Oh, yeah. We'll be right there.
Good, yeah, totally.
I love the didgeridoo. It's a great sound. And after having spent 15 years in Arnhem Land and working in Good Island with Ndiliagwa people, I speak their language. One of few white people that speak it. But I play didgeridoo, but out of total respect for the instrument and what it's used for sending the spirit of a dead person back to dream time. I play a plastic pipe, and now it's just a slide pipe, so it's just out of respect really that I don't play a wooden one. I see in Europe now it's been that flogged over there. They've got little signs at the front of the restaurant. Didgeridoo don't, like sick of it. So I think it's been a bit overused in some ways, but it's still a wonderful sound, and it's forever. I've been going fishing with my mob. We've been going way up that river now in that boat. Catching too much fish. Them old ladies, them old men, they can't go fishing. They can't go, they're too old. So we give that fish to them old ladies now, and them old men make them happy. Now time I look at that sky now, I gotta go fishing again. A big more fish up there. Nice barramundi now. I got that boat. I'm ready for start. Nothing. I gotta listen. Something. Yeah, help. I've been start that boat. I've been go that way, long way up that river now. I've been need that help. I look, nothing. If I long, that water go down. That water go, blah, 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 blah. Him too low. I leave him up, he come. I look. Them young, they gotta flash that light now. That light, help. I'm going straight away to the boat now. And when I get close there, them young ones, they gotta jump like my boat now. Hey, that crocodile, he be going round and round that boat now. Them old lady, 2 old men, maybe 8 people that in that boat now. I gotta take them. They come, they're scared, they're frightened for their life now. go along house. Ngaliwa. Them old people happy now. They can't die from the crocodile.
Fantastic.
Absolutely beautiful.
Another $5?
No, we don't. You take it. I'm fine. I'm fine. You just. Thanks for sharing. Look at you.
Yeah.
Enjoy your day. You've made mine.
You going to be here for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, mate.
Later.
Earth and genuine. A real Aussie bloke. Love Billy T and camping. A yarn and a joke.
You should be on the top.
Yeah, mate, that's all we subscribe to. You've been fantastic.
You're a legend.
No.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much, mate.
Hey, you're welcome.
I hope you have a great time in Adelaide, right?
I am already. Hey, friendship to me is like a river. Starts off a trickle and gets much bigger, ever widening and deepening until it reaches the sea, like many friendships here have been to me. Well, we're the sons of Australia, of the men who fashioned this land. We're the sons of the women who walk with them hand in hand. And we swear by the dead who bore us, by the heroes who blazed the trail. No foe shall gather our harvest or sit under a stockyard rail. And on a $10 note, you'll see on one side there's Banjo Patterson,
Yep.
and on the other side there's Dame Mary Gilmore.
Yep.
And up the end of that $10 note is no foe shall gather a harvest or sit on. That's her poem.
Okay, fantastic.
Look at your $10 note.
I will.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
What do I think of our women? Well, I'm still on the lookout for one. I get lonely in the van. It's a lonely life being a wandering swaggy poet. Most of them are fairly materialistic. We live in a fairly materialistic world, and that's understandable. And they don't really want to miss out on some creature comforts that they're getting now, I suppose, by living in a van and wandering. That's different if you're in a big Winnebago and cruising around. But
You could upgrade, couldn't you?
oh, I've got nothing wrong with upgrading. I'm into gadgets and things. I've got an iPhone. At the end of the day, it's the only gadget I've got because I use it for what I do. But I'm not into many materialistic things. The more I get in the van, the more I want to kick out. So I only need enough for today. Never unbearable, but it's I always manage.
And where do you start hunting for a woman, by the way?
Oh, for me, places of common interest, music, poetry, folk festivals, country
Really?
music festivals, people interested in that sort of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I drag along a broken stick, trails behind me in my hand, and when I draw your picture, yes, it's perfect in the sand. Yes, the picture's never perfect, colours fade and light, but your picture's always perfect, and I close my eyes at night. There was a trail of oil dripping behind the car as I drove in yesterday, and sort of got a bit stuck here. I think she's seized here. But I've faith in Australians. They've been good to me for 3 years, putting money in my tin, looking after me, generous. There's a little rhyme I do about giving, and it goes, and when you put your hand in, how much do you give? Is it a gesture, is it a token? Have you listened to what's been spoken? Can you hear the words in your heart? Because they were written to never part. Thanks, Australia. Love you.
Okay, get going.
Sound on?
Yeah, the sound's on, and I'm not getting any fire yet. Oh no! Turn it off, you haven't even got the focus. Not your fault.